Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back. Ninja Bananas Game 2 against Alliance. You guys excited about this one?
I am.
Senor
I'm
Winter?
slowly on like the down after that Liquid series, but game one was a solid showing from both teams. Alliance had the good early game. NiP just made some nice moves, turned it around. So we'll see NiP what they can do here in game two, or Alliance more importantly if they can force a game three.
Absolutely. You'd love to see it already into the drafts. And a couple of things a little bit different this time around. We are going to be seeing Mr. Shadow Fiend again for Ninja Pajamas. Perfectly fine. They did ban out the Quap. Darkseer, Io, and Doom going to be the other first stage bans, followed by a Tusk Night Stalker into a Venomancer. Batrider, Broodmother, Ember Spirit, Axe are all gone. This time we're going to be seeing the Ogre, Dazzle, and some other hero as well in just a second. Any first thoughts on this draft yet, Winter?
they go for the Lash themselves since it worked for NiP in the first game.
Interesting.
NiP picked these two heroes a lot, Ogre and Venom. Even all three of these heroes are such classic NiP
Ogre
heroes.
Venom is like very comfort picks for NiP, especially the Ogre.
Yep.
Alliance have, I guess the Night Stalker should be position 3. I never see Bulldog play Tusk. There's always a support Tusk.
I wonder how do you think NiP lane this with the Veno? Because normally they run the core Veno.
And
What, safe lane or
I
off
think
lane?
Era SF mid, maybe Limp safe lane banner.
Certainly a possibility. I haven't. We've been seeing more and more often Venomancer picked both in the support and the core role. I feel like this hero is really difficult. Well, not difficult to play against, but he requires a certain type of play. Exactly. You either have to deal with all these wards, which have crazy high HP and can just sort of slow siege down towers, or you have to deal with Gale being maxed out, damage over time. It's just all really frustrating to have to go against. Is there any particular skill build that you really like on this hero, or you feel like is better than the other ones?
I think some players would go for max skill first and one sting, but I just like more sting and less in the gear, I guess. Maybe level 2 gear, because the level 1, if you look at the level 1 and the level 2 gear, it's a significant difference. Level 2 gear is the damage per tick goes up to 10 to 40, so the level 2 point is very valuable, I feel. So maybe you get level 2 and then you max your sting, because the sting on the wards is really good.
Yeah, certainly. Well, Clockwork's going to be the other ones picked up by Ninjas in Pajamas. Need a nice source of initiation. Last time I felt like they were doing pretty good with it. The Legion Commander being able to jump forward and duel onto S4.
Very good versus the Lash or the Dazzle. I kind of feel like they need a core that does more though. Like if they run Venom core plus Clockwork plus Shadow Fiend, it feels like if they do that, they are lacking in terms of more right-click damage. They're going to rely on the Shadow Fiend alone. Clockwork does his thing, like initiates, but he doesn't offer too much damage.
If it is a core Leshrac, the Blade Mail there would be really great on the Clockwork.
It's definitely a core Lash because they have, I think Tusk and the Dazzle will be definitely their supports. Off-lane Night Stalker.
They do, or S4 plays a lot of Night Stalker too. This is often mid Night Stalker.
Yeah, and it might be mid Night Stalker, yeah, you're right. It might be mid Night Stalker, but at the end of the day, I feel like the Tusk and the Dazzle has a very high chance of being support, and Lash is more or less going to be a core. And Alliance is thinking of the same thing. They feel like NiP actually need a safe lane hero, and the Venom will be a support this game. Because of the combination of cores they have. SF and Clock means they need someone to deal damage. Maybe a Spectre. I like Spectre with Venom most of the time. It's very strong.
And it may even be like the Venom Clockwork together in the off lane, potentially.
Ogre Clockwork sounds fine too.
Okay.
I think both of those would be fine. But
the nice thing about the Venom Clock is the clock needs levels more, and once he gets like a bit of farm, some levels, he can kind of rotate off. And whoa, okay, Alliance anti-mage. There we go.
Very, very cool. Not a hero that I feel like we often see on them, but can certainly. I don't think that they're going to be able to punish this too heavily for NiP at this point.
They can go for minus armor, like Slada against AM.
Well, and they do.
They really like Slada too, NiP.
Slada SF would be good on Dire side.
Yeah.
With the Venomancer there as well as Ogre Magi, that's a good mix of damage types as well. They're going to be able to be fairly well-rounded, some amount of magical, some amount of physical there. And I guess it also gives you another form of initiation after the fact. It is a little bit clunky, I feel like, with the Clockwork Slardar combo. I guess being able to hook and then afterwards follow with Crush, you might end up pushing some people out of the range.
Or you do different targets. Clockwork focuses the Dazzle, then Slardar focuses AM or Lash.
Yeah.
It could still work for them. I think they need a very heavy source of damage. Slardar Spectre feels good for them. Okay.
Ooh.
Alchemist with the banner support would be also
Yeah,
really,
this
really
is-
handy.
Yeah.
And it's minus armor, so sort of the same thing as Stada, but much more, concrete in terms of going into the late game because you're stronger, you are more greedy, you're more secure with farm, and it makes Ogre Magi really happy to see Alchemist in the field.
Well, MyNuts is going to be the one playing the Tusk, snowballing around.
So it's
Admiral
off,
Bulldog, offlane Night Stalker.
offlane Night Stalker with Tusk, I think.
Support Leshrac, I get it. Oh no, it's
No,
core
no,
Leshrac. So
core
we're talking
Leshrac.
about
It's
S4.
definitely core
Oh,
Leshrac.
mid Leshrac. in
Mid
fact,
Leshrac.
yeah.
I think they need
Interesting.
to pressure this Alchemist though. They can't really give Alchemist free farm because of this type of lineup
yeah.
when Alchemist free farms and you buy Aghanims for Handskin,
Well-
you buy Aghanims for Ogre, then the game becomes really, really tough.
How much can you? Is it just the Night Stalker, the Tusk helping out the off lane?
I'm
Because
wondering-
Antimage, I can't really just solo in the safe lane unless you want to just give him a hard lane and he catches up later.
AM versus Clock is actually not that bad.
Or
because
if it's just clock.
if it's 1v1, yeah,
Yeah.
if it's 1v1. So we'll see.
Absolutely. TP's on out right at the very start of this. Looks like Daz is going to try and place down that ward. Keep pretty good vision there and make sure that his AM is going to be absolutely fine as this game goes on. Does look like we're going to be seeing NiP move on out towards the mid lane. And GLHF, smiley face. Always good to see some nice happiness spread between these spots that have placed each other 45 times. Is that what that was?
The 10 sweets, they are good friends.
Everybody's so nice up there. It's
And
just-
even after a loss, like these guys just
Yeah.
took game one off of you in such an important match. It's HF guys, yeah.
that's great. That's awesome. I
If
love
you
to
guys
see
beat us,
this.
good for you. You deserve to win.
It's so nice.
Good luck at Frankfurt.
They're like Canadians. It's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, getting ready for potentially just, and even they're going to trade off the runes too. Nobody wants to fight in this match. It's going to be great. Well, as I say that, they actually move on up towards the top rune, so maybe going to try and kill each other. 30 seconds left before those spawn. Certainly enough time. More have fun, have fun.
I was about to say no one replied to it, so glad to see a reply. That's always awkward when it's like the silent move. It's like, oh, okay.
Have fun. Give me my bounty rune.
Yeah, that's.
That's really what this
I would
is.
always just say have fun. I never want to wish my opponents good luck. I don't want to let them get more bashes on Spirit Breaker or whatever it may be.
He's gonna secure the bounty rune. And he has a
Oh, does he
TP
go
scroll.
for it?
He has a
No.
TP scroll.
He thought about it.
Yes, he's going to secure the bottom bounty rune. But SF is mid though, so it's going to put SF in a tougher spot because the Lash is going to get the bounty rune.
Looks like Alka's still walking top lane. Oh, no, he's going to TP up there.
He changed his
Smart.
mind.
The problem, of course, with this the Alchemist in the safe lane is that it does mean getting those bounty runes a little bit less likely.
Yeah.
Is he pulling a bottle or what's SF items?
Yeah, he actually might. You think he's going to pull?
I don't know. He's got. He's saved up so much money. What else? You like no stout shield for lane. SF has.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
SF is
Yeah.
going bottle rush. It looks like. No, I don't think he's pulling a bottle. Not with these SF
bought
items. Unless
a-
he goes boots and bottle. Oh wow, boots bottle.
He bought
Yep.
a bottle for SF.
Okay, it is
Wow.
bottle pull. This is exactly what we saw Envy doing at ESL 1, except Envy had the items so
Yeah,
that he
because
could
it'll
pull
be
bottle
difficult
instantly.
for SF if you take the rune and he doesn't get the
Yeah.
rune. So
That's definitely true. Nice little move there, being able to play across the way and help each other out again. Sort of a theme of this one. So Clockwork is going to be able to get that nice little cut off of the creeps, putting them over into the jungle and making sure his lane is in a pretty good spot. And this is going to be now Ake as well as MyNuts hanging out in this bottom lane here, making sure their AS gets the farm that he needs.
I think they need to help the Night Stalker pressure the Alchemist. They can't just trade farm like this. It's not
Ooh.
very ideal for them.
Couple of little things going on, no big deal. We're all good here.
Especially when it's a itemless alchemist. He's got no stout, no good laning items. He's pulled the bottle. He's very weak right now, and I feel you've got to rotate heroes top lane. Right now it's just a Night Stalker and both supports up here bullying him out of this top.
And they're going to be able to
Are
lay
they
down
going
the
in
ward as well.
bottom?
Does look like they're going to go on him now. Forward. A little bit of damage
can't
on the
be
house
much.
in time. It should be fine. Oh, Shards actually keeping him a little bit there. Heal bomb drops
was
as well.
close.
One more right click. Ake wants it so bad, not going to be able to get it.
Man,
Boots, he had boots on the Clockwork. That probably saved his life.
He doesn't have a salve though, so this is going to be a little bit dangerous here at this point.
I
Oh,
think you
overhit
should just
that
go back
side.
to base or suicide at Ancients.
More damage up here. They do end up catching the split earth. This is going to be the Tusk picking up the bounty rune in the bottom lane, so none for the Alk this time around. Shadow Fiend gets the haste. Helpful.
They have to wait for the haste to run up before they can go for the Shadow Fiend on the Tusk. Tusk is level 2. So he wants to get this high value kill on the Shadow Fiend.
Well, SF instantly popped it, which could work against him since the Tusk is waiting for that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Should be an easy kill after the haste wears out.
Well, they'll have a Snowball Ice Shards with the Lightning to slow him to start things off. Maybe wait for him to go for the
Oh,
range creep.
yeah, the range
you
creep.
want him to push further forward, so it'll be the range creep. If he goes for it, he doesn't.
He
Safe
just
play.
wants to stack neutrals. No.
He's just getting a little bit of a bottle throw going on
If
there.
he went for the range creep, he's probably dead. That's something he likely knows, that Tusk has been missing, and just pushing up a little bit further from your tower is potentially a death trap.
That's frustrating. He thought that he was going to be stacking camps right now, so Tusk went down to stack the other camp as well. And Shadow Fiend was actually just coming back mid right there.
Well, SF, no, didn't go for the stack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, up top, Night Stalker. Getting a little bit fresh in the Steel Kid here. One more 2 right clicks. They've got a lot of armor each, but Ogre's certainly the king of early trades.
I mean, AM free farm versus Alk free farm, is this like either side favored, do you think, Winter?
I think both are really happy with what they have. AM, Free Farm, and Elk is like. But
As
Elk
far
is-
as the overall strategy is like...
Alchemist is gonna come online faster than AM.
Okay.
Handskin is gonna try and get Bulldog here with the Gale. He should be dead. Yeah, no TP score, no way out.
Couple more right clicks.
First blood.
Well done. Get that one down there. So First Blood going the way of... Ooh, a little bit of stutter in there. Server issues. No big deal at all. First Blood going the way of Ninjas in Pajamas. Not the biggest deal in the world, but certainly somewhat important. You
I'm
take a
just-
look at levels.
I think I'm just interested to see how they play this Alchemist. Are they going to actually start by pulling out Aghanims as soon as possible by just getting maybe a medallion or like just a few basic items, then start pulling Aghanims? Or they are just going to play a greedy Radiance Alchemist this game?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like a lot of times if you're going to be going for the early Aghanim Scepter, it's on a hero like Tiny who can have a huge impact pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Maybe potentially it would be for the Ogre and being
Ogre
able to
and
get the double
Veno,
stun.
yeah. Ogre
Yeah.
and the Veno is really, really
They're
good.
both really crazy upgrades. Like,
Yeah.
Ogre's a hero who never farms well for an Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah.
But if you pull one too early, it does hurt his farm. Like, if you just get medallion type item and then start pulling Ags,
Wow, he buys another bottle.
Very interesting.
he's playing a very support-esque Alchemist. And when you've got a Shadow Fiend, he doesn't have to be that hard carry Radiant style. Bottom lane Clockwork.
Doesn't have to get caught off to the side there. Gonna drop low. Couple more right clicks might be enough. Is he actually gonna be able to get away from the snowball? No, definitely not. Was able to get off a flare at the end there. I don't think that hit anybody, but valiant effort indeed. Tusk ends up getting the first kill for Alliance. So both, top mid lane as well. Admiral Bulldog dropping a little bit low. 1, 2, 3 on the raise. Is it going to be enough? Ignite damage is going DOT, but it is nighttime now as well.
Oh no.
Oh, he's going to be able to get away
He
from this
didn't
one.
use his skill point. He had one extra skill point on the Ogre.
Oh,
He only had one Fire Blast and one Ignite, but he did.
oh my god, are they going to turn this
Rocket
around?
Flare.
Nice split earth catches as well, coming back in. Admiral Bulldog, mid animation, almost got the kill. Might end up being his death nonetheless. Handskin Gale, good amount of damage. Gale, one more time. TP out. Oh, what a play. Night Stalker, nicely done.
That should
Staying
have not
alive.
been possible if the Ogre had one more point in either the stun or the Ignite.
Yeah. Alk bought something. What's he bought?
He bought
I
a
think
bottle.
just a
and
bottle, just a bottle.
Okay.
He bought a new bottle.
he's going to give it to the Veno. No, it's not going to happen.
You said that like so matter-of-factly. I was just like, what? Arrow?
Not only can
Are
you
you
pull
really
Aghanims, you can pull bottles.
Yeah. Alk makes, like, Alk traditionally was played more as a support than a core. And now you can just play him as a core that supports the whole team.
Yeah. Why
Give him the
not?
farm, and he gets more gold from the farm, and then you use your gold to give items to teammates. But I feel like going for a Radiance this game can be punished very heavily when you've got heroes like Tusk and Night Stalker on the Alliance side. Great mid-game, aggressive roaming heroes. You've got the vision from Night Stalker, and just the ability to snowball and fight as 4 while Anti-Mage just farms, or potentially even pressures himself by split-pushing lanes and pressuring towers. And very limited / next to no good catch for killing the Anti-Mage this game.
Mm,
They have stuns, but
I mean, they have stuns, but not very good versus AM. Not
no,
reliable.
not good. It's not going to be enough to kill AM unless
Yeah.
they really commit a lot
I
of
don't
heroes.
think they're going to be looking to gang the AM too much.
No, they're gonna
just
look to
be
out-farm him.
More greedy. Yeah.
Well, the thing here is they do have the potential to get that clockwork. They're going to have to hit him with the cogs afterwards and then, like, follow. It's going to require a ton of coordination.
And you
it's gonna
can't
be
do
very
it
difficult.
until that. I mean, you can't even get the cogs hit until you have level 2 hook shots. So
Right. Yeah.
That's like you could hook shot into Ogre stun, but even that, like, you
It's not
need
reliable.
Yeah, and you need a third hero. Like, those two heroes alone can't kill him. You need a third hero for damage, like the SF for the
Right.
raises plus right-click damage. So it's...
And that's a lot to commit when you've got
Yes.
the other heroes.
And
on the
it's
rest of the team,
everything
too.
has to go right to get the kill. So it's not... It's so high risk. It's much better to play the economy game and go for towers, look for trades, which is what it looks like NiP are doing right now.
I wonder if that's why they went for the last pick out here. Is, you know what, if we need to economy up, we don't necessarily have the tools to be able to
Yeah.
deal with this. Let's try and make that happen.
Basically, we always talk about, oh, opponent has anti-mage, we want to pressure them, but the secondary way to deal with them is to be more greedy than the anti-mage.
But like traditionally, you saw like a lot of like back in the old days, like you pick your Morphling or something when the other team is
At
anti-mage. but-
TI, people deal with the anti-mage by having greedy supports like Visage.
Yes.
So you take a similar trait.
Yep. Well, we'll see NiP continue to pressure this top lane as daytime has returned. It's not exactly a good time for at least Bulldog to be trying to fight. But S4 swings up here, max Lightning Storm. Heavily nerfed skill in 6.85, but so far the Lesh pick seems to be going okay for Alliance.
Definitely been able to be pretty effective, and Lesh still is very strong at this current point in the game. Like, he ended up getting the nerf to the Lightning Storm, but that's mainly during the laning phase. So pretty solid there. Going to be able to take down this tier 1 tower right off to the top lane. I don't know if they really want to push it too much further. They're really strong right now, but I mean, Shadow Fiend doesn't quite have his mechanism up yet.
Yeah, they're gonna have a timing where they have mech. Vino maybe wants more mana before he's gonna skill his ultimate. But yeah, I agree. There's gonna be a time where NiP is gonna be much better at 5 manning because they're gonna have the faster mech, and I'm not even sure if Alliance will have a mech with their heroes.
Right. Well, they're going to back on out now as well. Has been able to build himself into a Perseverance and getting relatively close to that Battle Fury. It's going to be a decent timed one, I do believe. He hasn't really been pressured at all, and, well, you know, the Alchemist obviously can farm really fast. It's going to be interesting to see who farms faster when you end up getting that Battle Fury up. I mean, depends upon the pressure that's placed on you, I imagine.
All the top GPM records belonging to the Alchemist, but the few non-Alchemist games up there are anti-mages.
Yeah.
So the one hero closest to competing with them.
Oh, Night Stalker
Bulldog.
TP interrupted. A little bit unfortunate. They'll gale down on top of
He has
him.
stick charges to survive this.
Oh, maybe?
Oh.
No. Rocket Flare.
Surprise.
That was a level 3 rocket flare.
Nicely done. Clockwork. KS from across the map. Probably wouldn't have got anyways. Shards almost catching there. Not quite able to happen. At the end of the day, a little more damage getting dealt out.
Yeah, Clock is just desperately trying to get his level 6.
Yes, that's what I'd say. When he
Oh,
gets
no,
6,
S4
this game
Haste
gets
Rune.
tricky.
What do you know?
Oh my
Haste
god.
Rune.
Always happening. Snowball forward. That's going to be limited. Mind Nut's taking a lot of damage from the death, but still pretty solid right there. And on the way so far, back and forth. It's been pretty even. Both teams been able to find kills. The main difference at this point is the tower going down in the top lane.
That's right. Makes up for last game where the SF for NiP got so many haste runes himself. SF had like 3 haste runes last game, so balancing it out.
People just
Don't-
pay more attention to haste
S4
runes.
getting haste.
Yeah.
I know. I remember seeing it last game and thinking like, normally it's S4 getting all these haste runes. What's going on here? SF had like 2 in the first 10 minutes or something.
A 9k goal. So I guess your
Looks like
answer will
Radiance.
be here soon in 1000 goal.
Yeah. He does have those 3 levels in Greeble. Did skill up the stun, which
I mean,
helped him get
if
the
he
kill on the Night
farms
Stalker.
faster, it actually means faster agonims for his teammates. So
Oh yeah. And SF did go for the mech, so it's not like we're... you can always... obviously you're transitioning to a more carry-oriented build after this, but... SF does have the ability to fight with the team while while the Alchemist focus more on his own farm. I mean, as you said, his farm is his team's farm.
Alright, well, they're smoked up, looking for a kill here. Clockwork did hit
Oh, they're
6
gonna
relatively
catch-
recently.
nah, Lodage too difficult to kill.
This
But
is the problem.
they do get some deep bots down. This is also good for them. The best scenario obviously is always to smoke in, get a kill, get a ward down. But even if you don't get a kill, as long as you get a ward down,
Oh, what a hook shot. S4 ends up getting caught in it as well. That's going to be an Earn Charge down on top of him. Lots of damage being dealt on the Yonsei. Snowball into the Venomancer.
I don't know about bringing him in there. I really don't think that was the right move.
Is going to be able to get a double kill on the Veno now as well. And the Clockwork just going to be able to walk away as well.
That was-
Mechanism picked up
That
now.
was not the play there for the snowball. I think Lash was like, oh, I'm fine. Oh, okay, maybe not. I'm fine.
He didn't even grab him right away. Like, he snowballed past, and then like at the last second when he was still in range, picked him up. It really looked like
Yeah, he
initially he
was
wasn't going to do it.
Indecisive. I
Yeah.
guess.
You could tell by the play, like, it wasn't like he snagged him immediately. It was at the very last millisecond. Well, that is a pretty nice kill to get on the Leshrac especially.
Alchemist now picking up his relic as well, so this is going to start to become a little bit insane relatively shortly. I think that they're both going to be picking up their fireman items relatively the same time, probably the Alchemist a little bit beforehand, but it's not the fastest Radiance that we've ever seen on Alchemist.
He made a threat and he bought a bottle for Shadowfiend.
Yeah.
So
It's still
technically
pretty
he
good.
should have had the brown boots Radiance now. Like 11 minutes or 12 minutes.
Right. 7k net worth on the Alchemist. Anti-Mage a little bit behind that. Shadowfiend doing pretty well in his own right. Does have a... They have that big 5-man push, but do you think that they're really going to want to bring the Alch in with them, or do they just go as 4?
I think he mostly.
I think you want to farm on the out more, but top lane.
Doing a little bit of damage. Clockwork dropping a little bit low. Is already silenced. Does have the hookshot up if he wants to re-engage. There's the Ignite down. Going to be able to catch S4 yet again. They're trying to run away. Nice hookshot. Going to be able to catch him. Cog's going to get dropped in just a second. They just came back up. Snowball keeping S4 stuck in there as well. Ends up dropping before he's able to hit the Split Earth. Now they're dropping low again. Minets falls. Admiral Bulldog as well. 3 dead for Alliance, and they only lose the Clockwork.
Great play from the Clockwork. Even though he had to die, he knows he has to die, but it's the benefit for his team. Trading 1 for 3 there. Very good selfless play from Jonas.
And he waited for the cogs and almost got like a great 2 to 3 cogs push on there.
I
And
mean,
he dragged in a hero, which
It's tough for the level 1 hook
oh
shots.
yeah,
it's
it
tough.
was
Really, really tough.
it was. I like that he was at least very patient, didn't just immediately go for the cogs trap. Loda trying to get a T1 tower. Actually sneaks in front of Limp.
The master of last hitting.
Nicely done.
Loda's Battle Fury will be complete with that money.
So Dazzle also has the medallion up. He's been able to get that one. Do you think... I feel like they don't really have a great Roche lineup. I mean, they've got the Sigil there. They've also got the medallion up on Ake. But kind of difficult before you end up getting lifesteal out of the Anti-Mage. I feel like...
I think NiP will probably get the Roche faster.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised if Alliance somehow manages to sneak a Roche. Unless they win a team fight convincingly.
Right.
NiP just has a really good Roche lineup with the Venom Ward and Acid Spray. So I think I'll be really surprised if somehow Alliance manages to sneak this Roche. I think the first Roche should belong to NiP.
Well, here comes the smoke rotation up to the top lane now. We do have S4 pushing this down, like we've talked about. Got the level 4 Edict now as well, so this tower should fall pretty quickly. The Clockwork didn't actually spot out the rest of Alliance off to the side here, smoked up. But it looks like they're going to be content to just push out the mid lane while this is going on.
Are you lagging?
A little bit of lag.
Every now and then you get a little.
Just server issues.
Yeah.
It's coming along fine. Absolutely great. Era 1,000 gold after picking up his Radiance. Does look like Alliance want to come on over and potentially contest this. NiP aren't really backing down at this point. They're really comfortable pushing this out. Minette sauces out the shards. Any damage?
Kind of asked about pushing or having the Alchemist farm. He's just happy to join up with the team.
Nice look on the Loda. That's a Cogs push as well. 1-2 hit is going to be able to get a 3, but not going to be able to find him, I don't think. Nice Battle Fury. They think he's off to the other side.
That was
Really
well
played.
Really well played by NiP. Just barely missing getting that kill.
And that wasn't without any stun. This Clockwork's been playing really great.
Bulldog is going back for Midas, so it tells you Alliance wants to go more into the slow game now.
The
I
slow
think
game to me is still so good for NiP when you can
Yeah.
pull Ag Scepters. Like if I'm NiP and I'm unable to go for
But
tier 2s, you take Roche, you farm yourselves, you pull Ag Scepters, you're looking fine.
The thing is, I feel that's the best move because they can't push towers because of
Mhm.
Venom. You can't pressure, and if you gank, NiP have the superior team fight now. Venom ulti, SF ulti, Clockwork, team fight composition, and NiP has the composition.
I love
So-
the urn picked up as well by the Veno. This is so much DOT. It's great for being able to deal with the Dazzle, like,
Yeah,
as long
it's-
as they don't TP
It's
out.
pure damage against the Grave, and it's good versus the AM.
Radiant structures are fortified.
It's still very useful for your team though, if you're constantly getting kills and pushing as a unit.
Alright, Walrus Punch down. Gonna be able to take out that Alchemist. With that, just so quickly, the amount of damage that's coming out there.
Important kill.
It's still a very late kill on the Alchemist, so
Yeah.
generally you want to try and kill the Alchemist earlier. Because once he gets the Radiance, every kill means a lot less. Because when he's saving up for the Sacred Relic, that's the biggest window to kill him. You actually deal the most damage, but it's still a kill. Did they actually get a ward down? Arcade's gonna place a ward.
He's got them now. He was pinged? Oh, they just pinged
I'm not sure if they
general
saw
area.
it though.
No.
Did they see it with the rocket flare?
They pinged near him, but I think it was just like, hey, they're here kind of ping. Not that they saw mortar or anything.
That's
Yeah.
no, they saw it. They saw it.
Okay.
They got it.
Have they got a dire ward on the cliff there? Is that?
Uh,
Oh wow, that's no, it's just a
No.
Veno.
plague
It's a
ward.
sentry ward.
Okay.
They do have a pretty deep one over here by the tier 2, which I think is pretty helpful. They've also got another one up here, but they're gonna despawn in a little bit. Oh my nuts! Behind enemy lines, a bit scary.
Yeah, but if you look at this going into late game, I think Alliance will have to count on the Aghanims on the NS to control the map. They need to play the vision game and to somehow find pickoffs with maybe like late game they have Abyssal plus Blink on AM. So they will have the vision from Night Stalker to allow them to keep getting pickoffs. So NiP, however, has dire side
Yes.
advantage. So it's
And
gonna be a toss-up between who actually gets their decision making better.
And NiP have vision of their own with rocket flare and Venom.
Yeah, and the
plague
Venom.
ward.
Yeah, both teams have very good vision control.
And the thing I really like about Clockwork against Night Stalker is you can initiate outside of the Ag's vision range at nighttime. So you can go in before they see you. Like often the problem with trying to engage on a Night Stalker team is they'll always see you before you get the blink jump.
Right.
And Clockwork Hook has such a long cast range.
All right, jumping forward now. Looks like they want to take on down this tower. Weave ends up getting dropped down on. Need to be a little bit careful here. I don't want to get taken out. S4 with 9 Bloodstone charges.
Alchemist farms faster than Anti-Mage, has better teamfight presence than Anti-Mage. He takes the Anti-Mage tower, and he's also a pressure again. We see the upgraded Anti-Mage.
Well, we do see the anti-mage take down the tier 2 bottom. Oh, looking like they're going to
S4.
want to fight, though. S4 is a little bit caught out off to the side. Clockwork hooking as well. Nice Grave keeping him alive. Oh, silence on top of Jonas and Van. Walrus punch down. He does have the Blade Mill up, but it's not going to be enough. Lesh committing suicide at the end as well. Doesn't end up losing anybody else.
Snowball.
They might go forward. Hanskin in a little bit of trouble now. Snowball gets caught. Does he have a Walrus punch again? Not for 8 seconds. He might have overstayed his welcome a little bit too long. Admiral Bulldog trying to back him up. We do have another Weave drop down in just a second. No Grave for 8 seconds. They overextended. That's going to be
Base.
Tusk dead.
The base.
Oh my
Anti-mage.
goodness. He's dealing damage to tier 3, but
He almost took the tier 3.
Well, Venom's back, but they may be more than just Venom.
goodness.
Man, that was somehow worth the trade.
Yeah. And Leshrak got the Bloodstone suicide off, so
Yeah.
that was really well played by S4. He didn't instantly suicide, did the maximum amount of damage while he
The
got
Grave,
Grave.
yeah.
Yeah. A lot of Leshers there would just be like, okay, I'm going to die, let's Bloodstone suicide. But the Grave, he waited till the end of the Grave before using the suicide.
Yeah, it actually created a lot of space for Loda to do what he did.
Yeah, and killed the Clockwork, bought time.
Yeah, I think the jump forward as well, while it looked a bit strange that they're going that far forward, they were just creating space, the Tusk and the Night Stalker. If you lose them at this stage in the game, it's not the worst thing in the world.
I feel like Alk really needs like a boost of travel this game just to help against the split push from Anti-Mage. If his team want to try and push and go for a high ground siege, you need to be able to push out lanes, travel in.
Yeah, you could see Loda got so much off of that engage.
Yeah.
He's actually on par with the Alchemist in terms of net worth. That is actually really, really big for the Anti-Mage. Because the Alchemist has to always be a hit.
Yeah. Alk not going for the extra greedy item in the Mantis Cells, just picked up a Vit Booster medallion. Solar Crest we bought, okay.
I'm a little bit confused why they ended up putting the Aegis on the Alchemist.
I think because they want to high ground push and have him just on the front lines
he's-
attacking the tower.
He's the frontliner.
Yeah, he's
Alright.
he's the sieger in this case.
Usually SF is the Sieger, but this game the Alchemist can
Yeah.
be the Sieger.
Definitely.
I think either's yeah. If you want to put on the SF, you can. If he's going to be the one hitting the tower,
They're gonna find
S4
each other.
Looks like
really
he's
deep.
good. He's good.
The
let's go
separation.
buyback, but this is still key pickoff.
Very nicely done there. We do have the rest of...
Actually, he spent his money. Looks like doesn't have buyback. Yeah,
he's gonna
okay.
get out.
They go mid here. 30 seconds. We'll respawn in time.
Should be in a pretty good spot. I mean, you know, obviously the Bloodstone charges are hurting. He's down to 4 at this point after the
this
suicide
is still
and the death.
really worrisome for them though. The Alchemist with the Aegis could actually potentially deal a lot of damage here. So we'll see whether they can hold their base. They
Alright.
don't have the best spam. Lightning Storm got nerfed, so they have Shards and Lightning Storm. It's not really good spam to clear out the wave.
Our alliance going to be able to do this. It's looking really scary. I mean, you do have the Midas up on
They
Night
need
Stalker.
to
and-
force the bottom lane because there's no tier 3 tower at the bottom. So Anti-Mage can threaten the Rax.
He's out. I guess he sees a lot of heroes missing and not feeling safe.
Yeah, this ward actually spotted the rotation. The ward here in the
Okay.
middle lane spotted the rotation.
Yep. So he's going to go pressure top now.
I think that the Alliance are doing this the best they can. They're just going to keep these lanes pushed out. It's a little bit frustrating against the Veno wards, which just can continually keep the lanes pushed out. But at the same time, I mean, they're doing a great job of making it happen.
I wonder if now's the time where Alk starts pulling Ag Scepters. Often you see just the casual Vit booster. I know that's what like No-Tail does in his Alchemist. Maybe like the first Ag Scepter, then you buy an item, then you pull another, then you pull another Ag Scepter.
Yeah, they're trying to get a pick off before they go.
Yeah. Still just a level 9 Veno, so even if you're giving him an Ags, it's a level 1 ultimate, so maybe not quite worthwhile until it's level 2.
Gem is actually more important now. Since they're playing around the map, they're running
Yeah.
around so much. They need a gem for the vision.
And Veno Ogre can both easily look to pick one up fairly soon.
Here we go, Era.
Alright, channels the stun. Might be able to catch somebody here. Mynuts does have the haste turn. Is going to be able to get caught by that in the end. Nice. Lots of damage coming out very quickly. Ends up getting taken out there. They are going to be able to chase again. Okay, not going to be able to catch him. And Loda is going to be able to make his way out of here as well.
I
do
think he
believe.
wants to cut one more wave of creep before he
Yep.
leaves. To slow down as much as possible the NiP push.
This is pretty important right here. I'm a little bit worried, though. That's the stun coming out from the Alchemist. Jumps forward, Blink Dagger. I don't think they have enough follow-up to be able
No
to catch
rage.
him, though.
If he had Rage, that's a kill.
Oh, God. So close. They do have... Oh, Clockwork. Where you at? No, get it. Oh, no. It was right there. He wanted it so bad.
That was...
Probably
Cutting
should have
it close.
scouted with the rocket, but it was really close. Would have been a really big kill.
Man. Well,
That's why you get
Alliance.
minus armor against
Yeah.
them.
That's the Solar Crest in action.
at the end of the day, Alliance getting away on the skin of their teeth are going to be able to make their way out of there. Cut the last creep wave as well. So, did what he wanted to do. Was getting a little bit clenchy there at the end, but able to make it happen. And now they're going to be pushing out this bottom lane as well with S4, as well as Admiral Bulldog behind him. I feel like this is pretty much the best that you could be hoping from Alliance at this point, though. Like, they're able to farm their jungle pretty easily. They're able to keep these lanes pushed out. If they lose a tier 2 tower here, I don't think that they really care that much. And it doesn't look like they're going to
Yeah,
be able to
they
take it too
don't-
easily.
It's just all about how much you get in return. You push all the lanes out when you lose the tower. As long as you're getting something in return, pushing the
Right.
lanes, then you're fine. You're buying time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have to ask yourself this question: what are they actually going to buy time into? Because the late game of NiP is still really scary.
Yeah, that's true.
It doesn't feel like there's a point where Anti-Mage's items really allow him to fight.
it's not like one of those games where
Just
they,
wait
they're
for
going
Manta,
they're
or
going into
just-
late game, then they're fine. This
Yeah.
is not that game.
Anti-Mage could have a Manta, Abyssal, BKB, or whatever it may be, and at that point, you know Alchemist is going to have another couple items. Ogre and Veno may have an Ag Scepter pull to them.
Ogre
don't-
with Bloodlust, don't forget, that is really good late game.
Yes.
Bloodlust plus Alchemy.
Alchemist and SF, both with Bloodlust, will destroy AM late game. And this is not just Alchemist who's farmed. This is SF who's a couple thousand gold ahead of Lash.
I think we're going to see a lot of ratting from AM. Because I don't see a
It's-
clear timing window where the AM is going to be able to join the fight and win.
I guess that's their main point at this point, is to maybe try and get pickoffs with the Night Stalker once he gets Aghanim Scepter,
Yeah,
and
I
then
think that
being
would
able
do
to
that.
Yeah.
potentially take down towers at a later stage.
Bottom lane, they're going to go in, but yes, they get.
Oh, man. This is a pretty big kill, though. If they're going to go in.
Oh,
Clockwork
this
hook
might
on
be
in.
Fight! Turn and fight!
Are you going to be able to get this one? My Nuts dropping low is going to end up getting taken out there.
He could have turned earlier,
I
but
think he could have maybe.
he thought there was maybe 4 or 5 heroes
Yeah.
coming.
He was
and-
scared because if he died with Aegis, he's going to die twice because his ulti's on cooldown.
Yeah, yeah, fair enough.
So it was a very,
It was a safe play. Yeah,
safe play.
and understandable. This is probably a pretty tense game for NiP.
Yeah, definitely. All right, BKB is up with Shadow Fiend as well. He's had it for a little while now. And Night Stalker is getting close to that Aghanim. With the Midas up, he's been able to farm pretty well. So I think that this is a pretty good one. Like, they knew that this game was going to end up going later, so why not be able to pick on up that hand of Midas?
They are just playing for the late game, even though they don't have late game secured for them. But that's their best shot because they are not able to fight head on into this NiP lineup right now. It's going to be a really boring game for the Dazzle because they're going to be trying to dodge as much as possible, and he has to just sit behind. I think primarily S4 to make sure S4 is alive.
All they can do is split push with Anti-Mage and then try and find like single pickoffs with Night Stalker, Tusk, Lash. Dazzle's not really involved in the finding pickoffs.
No.
He has 0 deaths though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
He
he's-
can try find himself like push up on a map so he can sit behind like an AM when he's split pushing, but even that's very risky and not likely to see return in his risk. I guess putting himself in a really dangerous
I
position.
think the best thing for him to do is just to make sure that you need to focus on being at the right place at the right time to save your cause. That's his main concern right now in this game.
Yep.
All right. trading towers at this point in time. We do have a TP back, and that's going to be the clockwork.
They
In and
can't-
up, so they're not going to actually be able to get that
Oh,
trade.
this
really
trade,
get
this
wrecked.
trade is
Yeah.
good for Alliance.
Yeah.
Pushing
It's
on in.
going to be a TP back.
It's ogre though.
Maybe they cancel some on
And
the way
Venom.
out, able to catch Era? No, he's going to be able
They
to
actually
get out
had
there.
time to damage the tower. Look at how far the creep wave was. They were actually nervous.
Yeah. Well, they can't. They just see the anti-mage on the high ground. They don't know the location of that creep wave unless
Oh yeah,
they're
yeah.
really
They actually
keeping
don't have
track.
vision. Yeah.
Yeah.
True, true.
It's completely in fog.
So the thing that I'm kind of wondering about here as well is that eventually Alliance, either side can get caught out when they end up getting caught. And speaking of which, there's going to be the Shadow Fiend taking a little bit of damage. BKB charge used.
A win for Alliance.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Every little thing you can
They
get.
win for
bottom line.
Alliance, but a very small one. They're still in a lot of trouble, if you ask me.
Lotus should be fine
I mean, a
here.
very slow game, like that Venom ulti just being used kind of more as scare tactics, and just Venom not having any. Like you mentioned scoring game for Dazzle. Well, some of these NiP heroes probably like just moving around the map, getting farm, but they're like, hey,
You
where are
know-
the kills?
You know what the NiP supports are waiting for? They're waiting for their birthday
Uh-huh.
presents.
Yeah, there you go. That's what's up.
Do you think Ogre gets it first? Because he has more kill potential in the AM as far as his split push. Like, I'd almost rather the Ogre than Venno.
You have your answer.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
There we go.
Venno's picked up a point booster.
Unless it's an Octarine core.
That could be a possibility, and I
It's-
do
I
feel
just-
like when, in a game that's going to go late, you might want to be able to save so that way you can have the 7
I
item
actually
slot.
agree the Ogre is actually could be
Yeah.
more useful.
Ogre is the hero that deals with the split push. Venno's
You-
the team fight hero, but you haven't had a
You
team
need,
fight all
you
game.
need a blink on the Ogre for
Yep.
that to happen.
What's he bought? He's bought wards. Wow, he's actually really poor.
He's the poorest person in
Yeah.
the game.
Oh, wow, 2.4k net worth.
Yeah, it's crazy.
He needs some help, you know.
Jeez. And then they're just not finding kills lately. Like, the kills they found were from very early game.
Well, this is the item that's up right now. Night Stalker with the Aghanim
Oh.
Scepter.
That hook shot, he almost caught out S4. Was trying to TP to mid.
Be able to get out of there. I think the other problem, though, that I do find with this is that part of, I feel like, the component of being able to take over the map with the Night Stalker is the ability to actually be in a commanding position in the game, and I don't feel like that's where Alliance is at. They can move around and de-ward pretty
It's-
well,
it's
but there's
more-
always the chance they can
It's
get
more
caught.
defensive, I think, the Night Stalker now because they are behind.
Yeah.
And finally, NiP has the gem. SF bought the gem.
Oh.
I think they need this really, really
Alliance
badly.
are really aggressive with this Night Stalker positioning, though. He's up deep, scouting a lot out, has gem available.
They're not going to see him. He's going to be able to get
Yeah.
out of there.
Roshan should be on the horizon. for
Alliance know
NiP.
it's there, and I think they just accepted that they can't
They can't.
contest
Yeah,
it.
they just can't.
Even with it being nighttime, even with the Night Stalker Ags, their team fight is just too weak. Their game is the split push game.
Alchemist with the Hyperstone now. Does also have buyback. Oh, doesn't have. Oh, that's Clockwork.
AC. I
He's
think.
in no rush to pull Ag Scepters as well, so I think he'd rather focus on his own farm, and
Reported. Not spooling
Nice.
Accepted.
he's not no-tail.
The other thing about this, on these cores for Alliance, you don't really want to build MKB, I don't think. And the fact that the Solar Crest is already up on the Alchemist makes it all the more difficult.
You want
Yeah.
to build it on loader, I guess he's the only one you want to build.
Yes, and that's even not till later.
It's the creeps. A little bit unfortunate there. Maybe going to be able to catch my nuts here. Just need his Force Staff away, and is going to be able to make his way out of there.
Yep.
Oh, servers. It's all good. Don't worry. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. AC picked up now for Alk as well. So the minus armor continues to some extent.
Man, we haven't seen a kill in a
He's
while.
gonna solo kill the AM if he actually finds the AM with these items.
Well, oh yeah, blink with a blink. Oh,
Yeah,
he's
he's
blink
gonna
dagger.
kill the AM alone.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he had the
Oh,
blink.
top lane. Split Earth down. You know, just going to take a good amount of damage. Is going to be able to get the Blade Mail off, though. Odds out
Oh,
there
nice
on the
full
side.
Nice play from Yunus.
S4 is going to die.
That
Shadow
was
Fiend
such
gets
a
the
good
kill.
move.
Who forced off S4? He forced out of the cogs? No,
Ake
Clockwork
dropping low
forced
as well.
himself.
Oh my god, so much damage. Not able to get off
Dazzle?
the grave at all.
Yeah,
Dazzle screwed over S4 there.
He
Same
forced him the wrong direction.
Yeah, it was a combination. He's trapped in the cogs, wanted to help him escape, and S4 was just facing the wrong way. But
At the same time, Loda doing rat things up there. Is able to hit the Clockwork hook. Push not quite there. Unfortunate. We are going to see
Reborn.
this bridge go on down. Another one comes out to the side. The snowball forward on the Soderson fam. Is he going to be able to get the kill here? I don't see
Oh,
any
the
TPs
illusion.
back at this point.
Minot
we
is
go.
dead, but he'd love to get a kill as he
he's
goes
gonna
down.
kill him with the urn charge. Yep.
Last
Wolf.
tick, barely.
Worth. Support
Yeah,
task
didn't get
force.
XP, but sure. Yeah, I mean, it's worth because you got the racks.
Yeah.
it was
Range
space for
box.
Loader to get the racks and get out. What's Loader going to be going into here? Butterfly. The best split push item, like as far as illusion damage and like your own
Butterfly
damage
plus
attacks.
Abyssal should be his choice here.
Unless you really value
AC?
HP.
Oh, heart.
Yeah, I could see Butterfly Heart being possible, but
Ogre's still buying
Yeah, but
wards.
heart doesn't give you
Support.
damage.
No.
That's the thing.
it's more it allows you to split push without as much fear of dying. Like if you have a Butterfly Heart, you can die if Alk has like MKB,
I think you still
Abyssal,
die regardless.
Ogre with
Yeah.
a Ag Scepter at some
You
point.
want to be
maybe.
able to get a solo pick off with the
Oh,
Abyssal.
load of Invis Rune here as well. Was
Yeah.
thinking about it. He wanted it.
Yeah,
And
but
I always like the. I think Abyssal's so good on AM for the solo kill potential.
going back to the point where Lyrical was mentioning, I think because the Venom is trying to complete his Aghanim, so the Ogre is actually taken over, buying everything. I
Well,
think
he's been at that spot the whole
yeah,
game.
it's understandable because Veno X is just very valuable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I feel when you start to pull the Aghanims to the Ogre will want to have a blink.
Mm-hmm.
And he is doing that right now, actually. He has already picked up the 3 components of it.
Oh, nice.
I feel like that's going to be the hero. Potentially the Clockwork, actually.
Early Christmas for Ogre, maybe.
I think it's. Well, I guess and Clock's another hero with Ags who can benefit as far as dealing with split push.
I think you give it to the Clock first because the Ogre doesn't have dagger, so you
Okay, it
could-
just dies so quickly.
you could argue that the Clock would actually make the Aghanims more useful.
He also has more life to burn through there with his Blade Mail, and without many BKBs up at all across the board.
You give it to the SF for the stats, guys. What do you?
Yeah,
want?
that's- I
Come on,
like that.
please.
Let me ask you something. If
Hi?
if the Banner actually buys Aghanims now, can the Alchemist still pull an additional
I think so.
Aghanims to the Banner so he gets the extra stat?
Yes.
Yes, he can.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's,
he
I'm
can.
pretty sure you can.
And then you can sell the Aghanims afterwards if you wanted to.
Well played.
Yeah, there you go. That's the
That's the
dream right
play.
there. All right, we do end up seeing the smoke break off to the side here. Clockwork's going to be able to keep an eye on him.
Check for wards. Come on.
Oh, yeah, they're going to keep a little bit of separation. Mid lane, going to be able to catch on to Minuts. Lots of damage. There's so much coming out from Era. Killing spree on the
Where is
Alchemist.
the Aghanims?
There it is right there. See who he ends up giving it to at the end.
Hasn't pulled it yet.
What? Someone got it? Okay.
No, Alchemist bought it, but he hasn't brought it out to
It's on the
himself
courier.
yet. Yeah.
The Christmas present waiting to be delivered.
Such a lovely gift to give somebody. Alright, so they're pushing down mid lane now. With Tusk being out of the picture, they're feeling comfortable, but the lane's still pushed out. It's very difficult to actually make any of this happen. Butterfly is now up on the anti-mage as well.
Huh. It still just feels like Alliance don't have a clear timing window where they line up strong. They don't have a good way back into this game. They're
They are
just
not in control of the
they're
game.
just waiting and waiting and
For a
waiting.
mistake.
And yeah, exactly. What are they waiting for? All I can think of is a mistake. NiP to go for a push and just
They want to go into a
Misplay
scenario
it.
which actually revolves around base trade.
yeah,
Because AM would be
exactly.
good-
Just that.
AM would be good with that.
Yeah.
NiP go for a push and they're in a base trade. They trade racks and try and cancel TPs. That's where Night Stalker Tusk.
Well, jump forward.
Wow.
S4 gets stunned. We do have the Clockwork with
Even-
the Aghanims
even
now as
the
well.
Bulldog has gone for stuff,
Yeah.
recognizing that it's very crucial for them to have all this.
AM top
Well,
lane.
and even just to be able to have mobility, if you want to try cancel TPs while AM's ratting, Force Staff is like another item which could potentially help you. Oh,
in
Clockwork
position.
with the X.
Yeah.
There we go.
Alright, there's the jump away. He is going to have it back up in a second here. Oh, he gets pushed over to the edge.
Oh, here
Nice
comes
force
the
staff.
anti-mage.
Oh, this might actually be a kill here if he's
Doesn't have
careful
bash.
now.
He doesn't bash.
Yep. Oh, has a DD. Not gonna. Got the tier 2 tower, so that's still, I mean, again, another nice trade for Alliance. They get a tier 2 tower. It just means if they ever are split pushing and ratting, he doesn't have to have a creep wave in the top lane to get the tier 3 and racks. He just needs any lane in pushed in.
Yeah.
Getting tier 2 towers becomes very important for an AM at this stage because you don't, like, you can just push, like, bottom lane's going to push out itself a little bit with the range rex down.
Oh, he might actually want to go for this.
Oh, lots of damage coming out. Going to be able to drain away that mana. He did get the ulti off.
Yeah. That's why I feel like sometimes you want to have the basher
Or the Abyssal, as we were
Yeah.
talking about there.
rather than the butterfly. But butterfly obviously helps with split push more.
Right.
And the game plan has almost been entirely split push. I think it's, as much as like an Abyssal there would have been a kill over the butterfly, I don't think you could
Yeah.
justify it based on the game plan.
Yeah, I'm not
Oh,
saying it's
that's-
wrong.
You get the item for the game plan.
Nice force staff by Ake there.
They are here on the
Keep
high
them
ground, and
alive.
this time AM has backup at top.
And he has vision.
Yeah, I'm curious.
This is such a game of cat and
This
mouse.
is
Like, this is the type of
frustrating.
one where you end up being able...
God,
like, I think decision making at this point really comes into
Yeah.
play in terms of who's going to win the game.
And just how frustrating it is to play for NiP here. You just want hexes, boots of travel. I don't know, but you can't get farm on anyone. It's the farm is almost too concentrated on Alchemist and Shadow Fiend at this point. When Ogre can't farm a Blink Dagger, like you ideally even want like a Sheepstick somewhere and someone like Veno.
When you take a look
I
at
don't
the
know.
vision right now, like they don't have any either. It's so frustrating to play against this Night Stalker.
Yeah.
Their
Playing
Veno
completely
gem, they
blind.
didn't check these two spots though. When the Veno was at bottom, and he didn't check these two spots with the gem. So I think they need to actually address the issue of removing the wards. They didn't remove even a single ward with the gem.
Meanwhile, Night Stalker is just taking control of the whole map. He's
Yeah.
Yeah, obviously it's easier as NS.
yeah.
It's so difficult to be able to see anything.
And I like that he's got the Quelling Blade too, just for the he
Yeah,
can
the
solo
D-ward.
D-ward. I was about to say I was about to ask to check his items just because I think the Quelling Blade's such a value item to have because he's just roaming around the map on his own. Nothing can really. He's kind of invulnerable, especially with the 4-staff.
Clockwork could be able to see him if they had wards up, but they're continually getting dewarded. It's in this situation now where you can't really make that happen.
The Rocket Flare for NiP is their main vision tool at this stage.
In the Veno wards.
Yeah, I mean Veno wards, yeah, the Veno has to be there. Rocket Flare, you can just be throwing them across the map. But yeah, they're both quite good. So we'll find out AM's next item soonish, I guess.
Yeah, 3,600 gold. The Rocket Flare did spot him out there, but not quite in range to be able to make anything happen. Meanwhile, everybody's just running around the map trying to find something.
It
to
still
do.
feels like Alliance have no real late game way of winning until we see a base trade or we see the NiP fuck up.
Right. Shadowblade up. This might be a little bit bold right here. If he ends up going Walrus Punch, the Clockwork is right there, though. They think there's 5. Turning around, BKB Pop. He's tearing him apart, though.
Can he get the hook?
Oh, one time. Make it happen. Hook shot into
He's
the
got another
creep.
one soon.
Gonna be able to make it happen with
Chase.
the Aghanim Scepter up. I don't know if
I think
he's
he
gonna be
wants
able
to
to catch
chase.
him.
Another
He's
hook.
gonna chase.
3 seconds.
Oh, we do have rotations
See.
over. Dazzle's gonna be here as well.
He's scouting.
Gonna hit
Hook.
it. Oh, it's deep. This is
Yeah,
really
it's
deep.
deep.
Yeah.
Flash is too fast.
Is that worth it for Alliance? BKB charge for Tuss Live? With the way the game is going, it doesn't seem too
Might
bad.
just be,
And
honestly.
space for AM?
Created space
Like, I
created.
don't think that's actually bad for Alliance. It's not. It doesn't help NiP. It hits the BKB duration. I mean, it's not a huge game where BKB duration necessarily makes a massive difference, but whew,
Yeah, man.
a very
Crazy.
different pace of game after the previous best of 3.
It's a very. I think this game is a very technical game.
Oh, this is
Very technical.
actually a game of chess right now between the two teams.
They need to. Every move is very, very, very sensitive. You can't really make a wrong move right now. One wrong move and you lose the
Yep.
game.
For either side, I think to some extent, like Alliance, they need that 1 second to be able to jump forward and take down another lane of racks. But even if they take another lane of racks,
Oh, double damage
I don't know
again.
if it's going to end up mattering. DD bottle.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he doesn't have MKB. The Radiance plus the Solar Crest evasion is
Yep.
just.
And that's where
too
even
much.
an Abyssal may not give him solo kill potential in Alk because of the Solar Crest, or
They
at
do
least
end up
it's
spotting
debatable.
him. Hook shot in onto Loda. A little bit of trouble. Should be fine,
gonna be
actually.
annoying. Actually blinks
Blinks
forward?
Oh, that's
The
bold.
battery assault?
Gonna end up breaking it. Loda's going down here.
Oh, blink down.
Blink, are you kidding me?
Oh, that blink was really bad.
Oh,
misses the hook.
Poison
Doesn't end up
damage is
going
enough
down.
though.
That was not a good blink.
That aggressive.
And now they're just gonna
I
try
guess
to
he
push
thought
out
they were
these
flanking
lanes.
him.
Yeah, they thought they were coming from behind. He
Yeah,
was-
because he knew they just took row, so he's like, okay, I'm being flanked. I need to blink forward, but
Admiral Bulldog dropping low here as well. Stun gonna come out in just a second from
they
the
have no vision.
Alchemist.
It's nighttime.
God, it's so frustrating.
That was really close though for Bulldog.
Well, they only end up losing 1, but it is a big one. Their position 1, Loda going
Yeah.
down.
as long
They
as
still can't high ground,
they can't
it's-
force him to buy back, then it's still okay for them. It's still fine for them.
By okay, it's still an alliance with no game plan.
Yeah.
I mean, they have a
It's
game
true.
plan, but the game plan is not a winning one. It's a let's not lose game plan.
Right.
The next Aghanim's upgrade on the Ogre will be key. He's gonna be able to get his blink, 900 gold. I think that's the best
That's-
item for him.
That's where AM will start struggling.
I'm not sure if he should actually finish his Claimer Cape. I think that the blink is very good for the Ogre.
And I think having a SF or / Alchemist Boots of Travel, so Ogre can just hunt the AM alone, then you TP in with like the Shadow Fiend or the Alchemist to get the killing blow. It's going to be kind of the overall strategy, but they may just be able to get high ground
Aegis
here.
up. They're feeling comfortable with this, I think.
There's
That-
no split push, and even if AM can respawn
Oh,
soon.
the first half.
Oh my god!
S4 gets caught out to the side. He ends up going down.
Damn, that was
Wicked
such a
6
good
streak
first
on the
half.
Shadow
Forced
Fiend.
into a Cox push, so good.
Tier 3 going down as well. This is really looking bad right now for Alliance. AM buyback. We also have a buyback up on the Leshrac, but this is going to be a lane of racks at least, I feel like. Oh, Minut's going forward. Is going to be able to lay down a good amount of damage on top of the Alchemist, trying to jump back in again. Clockwork hooks onto the Dazzle. He ends up going down, but ends up buying back immediately. If they're able to get a couple more kills here, this is going to be enough. Done forward. Minut's dropping low. Nice force staff keeping him alive, but he ends up going down. Nonetheless, the Ogre Magi. This is going to be both of those racks down. Era is comfortable, happy as a clam.
The AM pickoff actually ends up being game design. Yeah, even if he'd bolt back, the only thing he could have done is bolt back instantly so he could stop split pushing again.
But way too risky.
Yeah, it's too risky. I mean, it's like the alternative is you have to 5v5 in your base with a terrible lineup.
Requiem goes out as well. Huge mana void, but he's got Aegis. He's coming back.
They have Venom ulti. They can still fight this.
Yep.
They're super ready for this one. Tons of damage coming out from the Shadow Fiend. He's hitting for 300 a pop.
Here
Clockwork
goes the
hooking
Alchemist.
again. Oh god, Night Stalker's dropping low. The A ulti is lots of damage low to Fallen again.
that
Another
goes
lane.
down.
And Bulldog died in Fountain.
There's the other buyback. They ended up using that one.
It's pretty much game over at this point. Like, they've held and they've used all their buyback. I mean, they've held in the sense that they didn't get thrown.
Oh, Cog's hook again as well. Stun on top of Loda. This is going to be a dieback. Does get graved. He's going to stay alive for this one, so small little bit of something jumping forward to Midas is going to be Bulldog.
Lesh is trying to... Lesh gets the bottom melee racks, but...
It's worth.
that to me is a consolation prize here. It's not going to change the state of things.
My nuts. No
Oh, they
vision.
don't have vision. They lost the gem?
And apparently, Venom might have bought back.
Not sure. Did Venom even die? No, he didn't die.
I'm not sure how they ended up
Oh, the
losing
gem is on
there.
the Ogre.
Okay.
Well, he's got suddenly 3,000 gold in Ogre, so you mentioned Blink. Well, you
Yes.
mentioned not getting Glimmer Cape. You can get that and Blink.
Listen, fam, should be able to
Force
get
stop,
out of
actually.
here. No problem. So 7-23 is the score.
Force Staff is still gonna allow him to get his stuff done, but Blink is much better. But Force Staff is more useful for your teammates. The cast range of the Fire Blast is just very shitty. That's why I always prefer to get a Blink.
All right.
Well, it's looking rather rough for Alliance at this point in time in the game. And
Yeah.
after
Killing
the last
Alka is
game.
just not on the cards.
Oh, Clockwork also just picked up a sheep stick as well.
One of the benefits of being pulled in Axe just means you can go for one of these other big late game items. Now AM will have issues.
I think the
As he did
Agrams on the
before.
Clockwork was game winning as well. He was able to make so much stuff happen. He's been having an absolutely wonderful game.
Yep. Oh, that forced cog. It wasn't even all in the hook shots. The forced cogs onto S4 when they pushed high ground
Yeah.
was... That was one of the best plays we've seen this game.
Well, looks like Limp is comfortable just marching on down mid lane.
And we haven't
Top
even
lane.
really talked about SF this game. It's just been farm, but and also just push the high ground. Like SF's done everything right this game.
Lola TP back to base to fight.
Well, I think he knows if they get mega creeps, there's no coming back.
Yeah. All right. Well, SF still here. We do have a Blink Dagger up on Veno as well. The Weave is down, but not down on
How do
top
you
of the
stop Era?
Alchemist. He is so scary. Clockwork
Oh,
coming
the
forward.
force
Actually,
staff
cleared the
cogs.
force stuff away.
Hold
Pretty
Force
nice.
Staff cogs.
Dangerous. That's
He's
poor
brave,
Graved up, but to what end?
GG.
Tusk buyback. Oh my god. Beyond godlike streak. He is bloodlusted, BKB'd everything. Oh, nice little hit there as well with the mana void, but is it going to be enough? I think the answer is pretty clear. Triple kill for Era. GG ends up getting called, and Alliance end up falling to Ninjas in Pajamas. Whew.
Very, very good last pick, Alchemist.
Yes.
We suggested Spectre or Slada, but those would actually... I mean, the Spectre is good late game, but Slada is like more of you are stronger early. You have to pressure the AM. This pick is like very easy to execute. It's safe. You just focus on farming, and you put them under pressure because your Alchemist is actually more greedy than the anti-mage.
And a lot of the old school like hard carries that used to be picked against AM just have fallen off, but Alchemist is kind of the one that seems especially viable at the moment.
Just a very good...
And
I think it's just a very good last pick.
something that obviously had good synergy with some of the other heroes on their team because of the Ags upgrades that he could give them.
Even though he only did like
Just the one on clock.
Yeah.
And it had definitely an impact on the game, but not really what gave them the win maybe in the end. But yeah.
Yeah.
NiP looks solid. To me, though, they're gonna have their work cut out for them against Monkey Business and or Liquid.
Definitely.
So yeah, We'll have to take a look at the brackets as they've been updated now as to see where things stand in Europe. We have one more best of 3 today. That's going to be the lower bracket. So Alliance will go up against Liquid in the lower bracket. Loser knocked out will not be going to the Frankfurt Major. Winner will advance to have one last shot to get there. We'll have to win that lower bracket best of 3 against the loser from the winner bracket. So
Awesome. Really looking forward to that one. Should be a great game. Both teams lost one, best of 3, and have something to prove at this point in time. Any favorites that you feel like there at all? I'm putting you on the spot here, but
I don't mind. Liquid, I think.
Yeah.
I think Liquid are heavy favorites. I don't know. Well, I think they're fairly heavy favorites.
Okay.
What do you reckon, Winter? Liquid versus Alliance?
I think Liquid are stronger than Alliance
Okay.
in terms of recent results, but it's not like 9 to 1. It's like probably maybe 7 to 3 or maybe 7 to 3. Yeah, would be fair.
So there's a chance.
There's a chance.